Hey everyone, this is Nicole Hoff, and I have some tips for art teachers on how to purchase, store, and organize your paint. I'm doing the end of the year clean out in my closet, trying to place my order for next year, and I wanted to see what I have in here. I'm reasonably well stocked, but I have run almost completely out of yellow. Looks like I need some red. I always end up running out of primary color. So lots of tips for ordering for next year and keeping yourself organized in what to do with paints and manage that. I think that's one of the biggest challenges of being an art teacher is materials management. I see pictures or questions on Facebook all the time asking, what do we order as new art teachers? So here's what you need to know, even for us experienced art teachers. It's good to have a few quick tips. So when I am cleaning out my closet at the end of the year, that's a good thing to do every year is sort of just check your inventory before you do your next order. You don't want to order full class sets of colors if you have enough. So I tend to always have brown and black. So when you order like a complete set, they often include the rainbow of colors, including brown and black. And I'd rather just order individual colors than get colors that I don't need. So I don't want to waste any money. So ordering individual colors is good. Always order more of the primary colors and white than you do of any of the other colors, because you can always mix your own custom colors. Speaking of mixing custom colors, so here's my first little official tip, is when you have all these half bottles at the end of the year, there's just a little tiny bit. Start mixing them together into one. I just made this beautiful periwinkle custom color using the leftover little bits. Adds a little bit of white to add some opacity, and then I'll bring it all together. And now I have this pretty periwinkle custom color, and I have a full bottle to put in my cabinet instead of a bunch of them that I only have a tiny bit and might dry out over the summer. So tip number one, combine bottles and mix some custom colors at the end of the year. Next tip is when I do my ordering, on the top of the bottle, I write the year on here. So I have some very old paint. This is from 2015. This one's from 2018. These are old bottles of paint. So I need to make sure that I use these ones up before I use, this one's still old. This is from 2020. So this helps me know, but if I'm grabbing blue, I need to grab this one from way back in the back of my cabinet instead of the more recent one. So we're tempted to grab the pretty paint. But as you probably know, paint does sometimes degrade and get smelly and gross and separate, so you want to use your old stuff first. And sometimes things get, as you can see, shoved in the back of my closet, and I don't even get to use them, and I'm tempted to use the nice new stuff that's in the front. So just use a Sharpie, write the year on top of it, and it'll save you a lot of wasted paint if you don't get to use your whole supply every year. Next tip, as you are dealing with colors, and ordering, I have switched to really only ordering my paint in quart size bottles. This one is a pint, and this one is a quart. And here's what I find is that for my shelving situation, the quart and the pint take almost the same amount of room on the shelf, but obviously I'm getting like twice as much paint in here, and you end up wasting a little bit of paint. It's just stuck to the side of the bottle, it's stuck in the bottom, or going through more jugs. So this is a good size jug. I don't like the gallons. Some people like the big gallons with the pump where you can distribute it. I find it's too big for me to handle. It's too big for kids to handle. And this is a medium size where I'm getting a better price usually. I'm getting enough that I don't blow through it in one project. And I don't have as many little bottles to deal with or squeeze and combine. So I find that the quart size is much better than the pint. I end up getting paint out of other people's classrooms, or I obviously have old stuff here that I'm still dealing with. But when I order new stuff, I order in quarts. Last tip I think that I have, is this one. If you ever have this glitter glue, this is Elmer's glitter glue. It's really thick and it's hard to use. I love glitter. Everybody loves glitter, so sparkliness is fun. And I love, I've jumped on the bandwagon with all of these kind of like ice cream drizzly projects. These are our donuts that we did with printmaking. If you want to see this lesson, I've got a video that shows how to do this lesson too. Just follow Nicole Hoff Arts on YouTube, and I've got a tutorial to show you how to make these. But for this like drizzly, chocolate dripping and sparkly colored, looks like frosting drizzle on here. This is clear, obviously, when it dries, or clear-ish, green clear, but it's really hard for my elementary students to squeeze out. So what I do is I mix in a little bit of paint, a little bit of just regular Elmer's glue, a little bit of whatever I have in these leftover bottles. I add it to this glitter glue and shake it up. And like here I have like a minty green that's part glitter glue, part regular glue, part white paint, part green paint, just whatever I have, and I squeeze it together in these bottles. But this little tip is a skinny enough tip that when they squeeze it out, it doesn't come flooding out. And mixing it with like a half and half ratio of glue to paint gives that nice little drizzle, and it looks nice on any kind of like donut or ice cream sundae kind of project. So yeah, those are my tips for ordering paint. Check your stock. Make sure you know what you have before you put your order in, so you're not ordering things you don't need. When you order just the colors you need. Ordering extra of the primary colors and white, and maybe black. I tend to not use black as much, but definitely the primary colors and white. Yellow tends to go faster in my room than all the other colors too, because we use it for mixing with so many other colors. So those colors are great. I also love fluorescents, especially when mixed with a little bit of white. They make a great color. So plan your colors. When you do order in the quart size jar instead of the pint size jar. You're going to appreciate that. I like to order different brands so that I get different colors. Like here's 2 different turquoises, and they're very different depending on the brand you order. I like that variety. When you have leftover half jars, mix them up, make yourself some custom colors, and you'll have those ahead of time, which makes it easier for projects. And last but not least, mix a little glue with some of your leftover paint to make your own little squeezy, drippy glitter glue paints. Oh, one more bonus tip, I forgot. When students are getting their own paint, which is a scary thing to do in the art room, I don't usually am serving paint out for kids, but I bought these little tiny squeeze bottles. Some people have ketchup and mustard condiment bottle kind of things, and these are the same concept, and they've got a little hole. So when kids want to get their own paint or filling their own paint palette, again, this just helps them portion to get a little bit at a time. So I fill up these squeeze bottles if kids are getting their own paint in a tray. That way they can only get a little, and they can usually intercept before they get a giant puddle. So these are another thing I keep in my paint closet, is these little tiny self-serve ones. So I hope that helps you with your paint orders and cleaning up your cabinet and getting ready to think about paint for next year already. I can't believe we're at that point in the year. All right, thanks everybody.
I said I see it, and I like it, and I want it.